Hello, you beautiful people. Today, I'm going to tell you about a technique that I used. Um, it's a very, very old technique. I basically rediscovered it, but it has helped me a tremendous amount. Um, for those of you that don't know about me, I have an ACE score of 8 or 9. It's Adverse Childhood Experiences, and basically, I have had a lot of maladaptations. That is just a cat busy climbing a bookcase. And it's not even my cat. um, so, what I did, well, firstly, why don't vocalizations, why don't um, mantras or affirmations, why don't they work as often as we'd like? I think usually it's the same reason why dating apps are horrible for dating, is you're coming from a place of need to begin with. Like, you're saying, I am wealthy as your affirmation. You're probably saying it because you don't feel very wealthy, um, and you'd like to be more wealthy. So you're saying this thing. But every time you're saying it, you're kind of reminding yourself that you're not where you want to be, or you don't have what you want to have. You're not who you want to be. So it's a little bit tricky, especially when you hear people using affirmations and getting such great kind of when it works. And I think the reason for that, sometimes things just work. And also, if you start from a place that isn't a place of need, if it is more a place of alignment, it'll probably have more impact. Like if I run a certain route, now I've run it dozens of times, for example. If I say I'm somebody who can overcome hills and run, I'm an athlete, those things are more in alignment, you know? So maybe when people really align with their higher selves, it is impactful. But for the most part, I don't think affirmations are as useful. Instead, try this. And you could download an app. In fact, this ended up becoming a tool that I used in my Stoic app um, called Resilience Cards. And what it is, and it's better if you do this yourself because somehow your brain goes, okay, this effort that I'm putting in, I, it's important because I'm putting in effort. So let me focus on this. So what you do is, well, what I did was I got a small deck of business cards, blank, empty business cards, and on the one side of the business card, and it's a good idea doing this only one card at a time, and really like drilling that in, and then when another negative thought pops up, because negative thoughts continually pop up, they they get recycled more than plastic. Um, your your negative thoughts, they, you know them very, very, very well. There are very few that are new, you know. So pick a negative thought. Could be anything, like I'm not good enough, or if if it hasn't happened by now it never will, or I'm unlovable, whatever ices your cake. Write that down on the one side. Now don't traumatize yourself while you're doing this. That comes a bit later. So what I want you to do is then think of as many counter reasons, factual reasons why that is not true. So if you know if it's a thought, I'm not good enough, it's like, what is good enough for a human being? Or I have been able to improve my skills and improve my life. And just the fact that I can learn and change means that this isn't static. Write down factuals, things that counteract that thought. But like find like real, use ChatGPT if you need, you know, um, find reasons why that isn't true, like the more accurate reasons. Then what you do is you kind of semi-traumatize yourself by thinking of these things. You pick up the card and you see the negative thought and you feel it. It could be whatever. I'm a piece of whatever, or I'm not good enough, or um, nobody likes me, or I'm going to end up alone. Whatever, you know. Um, whatever juices your fruit. So you feel it, but then you try and remember what's on the other side of the card, the actual truth of the matter, and you feel it. You go through it, cats. You go through it as many times as it takes for you to, when you first see or encounter that negative thought, it doesn't sting. You start to come into contact with it enough that when you see it, you notice it, and when you see it, you answer it in the way that is most helpful and appropriate for you to do so, which seems like a skill that we should be taught, you know, in preschool, really. Um, so things like I'm not good enough, or if it hasn't happened yet, it never will. Um, or a lot of those rely on you being a fixed thing without any agency. So, any proof that you can give to yourself that you have agency, that you have done anything even vaguely difficult in the past, or learned anything at all, or the fact that you can learn or do anything means that you can change and that you're not that person, which is really, really useful. Um, and then what I did, because I woke up early because I was massively depressed, and depressed people very often wake up early, and I would go through the cards. I would sit quietly and I would shuffle them, um, and I'd see the negative thought and immediately in my mind answer it with the answer that is on the back of the card. It's more like flashcards for emotions. That's yeah, that's what it is. Build yourself some flashcards, emotional flashcards, and it'll increase your resilience a stupid amount. Well, a very good amount, a genius amount. Let me say that's more positive, because if your negative thoughts, if your actions are determined by your thoughts, and your thoughts, you're having recurring thoughts, if you can just stop one or two of those recurring thoughts, how much impact do you think that will have as a knock-on effect on your life, on how you act? It has a huge effect. And yeah, so try it. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there's something similar that you've done, um, or even let me know what negative thoughts um, are most common to you. So I'm always curious about that, because my most common negative thoughts aren't going to be yours, maybe. Um, yeah, it's interesting. It would be nice to maybe make a kind of like an Anki type system, where if you don't know about Anki, it's basically flashcards, but they use space repetition to show you the card at different intervals, because your brain forgets at a certain rate. So it kind of takes that into account and shows you things. These are big, chunky cats. Jeepers. That's a chunkosaurus of a cat. My goodness. Uh, yeah, it would be nice to make maybe a set of cards for the community and yeah, make that available for free. If you think that is useful, then I'll do it. Otherwise, why bother? But this is just something that really, really helped me. Um, One of the few things that very, very, very much helped me. I hope you have a truly, truly beautiful day. And here is to our healing. May you surround yourself with people who see you and you see them and you grow together. Sounds like a beautiful life. Have a wonderful day.